Right, I thought I'd pick up the camera. I am in the middle of putting some plants in, but I thought we'll do a little update on this small raised bed which I done last year for the new bootia last year, which is settled in nicely, no damage over winter. But the small raised area around it was looking a bit bare. We had, well, I have got some cannas which are now starting to come up. That's Tropicana Black, so they're the sort of dark leaf ones, and the Begonia Grandis sort of self-seeded everywhere, so that's coming up at the back. We can come around here, so that's starting to come in, but apart from that, the rest of it was pretty much empty. So what have we put in? Well, we've gone for a little bit of symmetry on this, you know, want it to look nice, so in a informal garden it's nice to have a little bit of formality here and there. So at the very back corners we put in this Persicaria, and that is Lance Corporal. I've got the tub here, hang on. So that's that one. Pause and read it if you wish. Yeah, so we divided that into two, so put that in each corner at the back. Obviously starting to wilt because it's quite warm, but yeah, so we'll have a nice flush of that in each corner. And then just in front of that we've got an alocasia each side. So this side we've got a Zebrina, Alocasia Zebrina, with the nice stripy stems. And then this side we've gone for the Regal Shield. So you have to bear with me because I can't even see the viewfinder because it's really bright. But yeah, so Regal Shield with the green on the top and dark underside. Yeah, so they're either side, and then just in front of that I've got a couple of Syngoniums reduced last year, house plants really, but they do okay in the summer outside, so we've got one of them each side as well. And then at the very front we've got some Purple Heart Tradescantia, which I just had a hanging basket and with petunias and that in, and some of this Purple Heart, which obviously came back this year, so we split that into 3 clumps, so we've got a nice purple patch at the front there. So I'm probably, next time I go out, I'll probably get some petunias just to fill in these gaps either side, just to trail down. And then we've got this sort of bed and begonias and some impatiens along the front just to give it some colour. So it's like a 2-tier raised bed, so plenty of colour, plenty of variation with leaf styles and colours, shapes. And yeah, we're in full swing of summer now. It is warm and it's time to get the true tropicals out. So that is the small area there. I'm doing little areas at a time rather than sort of daunt myself with trying to do the whole garden at once. I'm just doing a small area here and there. So that's literally just took a couple of hours just to clear that, get the plants in and sort of re-mulch. I've got a lot of wood chip mulch on top, but I do mix in some grass clippings with that just to give it a bit of extra nitrogen feed as that breaks down, and obviously suppress the weeds as well. The alocasias are obviously still in pots, and I've just sunk them into the ground, but everything else is planted out. So the Syngoniums, they're not going to be hardy, they will die, but I'm happy to lose them. I paid about £1 a pot for them, so I'm not bothered about them. Yeah, they should perk up. Obviously the Persicaria at the back is totally hardy, and the Purple Heart not really supposed to be hardy, but I left some out last year, and even with that winter they've come back out the front in a raised planter, so I'm guessing these should be okay being raised up and free drain, and they should come back as well. So really it's only the alocasias which are in pots, which I just have to lift out when the temperatures start to drop at the end of the autumn. So that is that little area, so let's just give it a bit more interest, and hopefully they'll start growing nicely now. The next area I'm tackling is along here, because believe it or not, these Pediceites, I thought I pulled them all out last year, and they've this was the original planting I'd done, and they don't do well here. It's too much sun. They tend to, as soon as the weather warm up, as we can see, they tend to sort of just bleach out and go a bit limp, so they don't do well in a lot of sun. And they've even spread all the way up here, so I'm going to have to pull all these out and get some nice bedding tropicals in for the summer. So yeah, I mean, how rough they look there, and then let's look how they should look. So over here in the shade, that's how they should look, a lot better. Nice big leaves, lime green with some gold spotting, and we can see just underneath the gun over there, I don't know if I'm pointing in the right direction, but there's another clump come up there, and the leaves are probably nearly 2 foot wide, so they do a lot better in full shade than they would in sun. So that they're all going to come out, and then we'll have a nice area to plant some. I was never happy with this plant, and just due to the fact that I've got this Fatsia camouflage here, which is, you know, only just flushed out, so it's looking quite pale till it darken up. I mean, you sort of lose the foliage with these Pedicites. Are very similar, so I want to get all them out and just have that a bit of contrast. So that is what I'm going to be doing next. Like I say, bite-sized chunks. Yesterday I did replant, well, say replant, to put a few plants at the front. This little centre bed here. So we had all the cannas starting to come up. Cleopatra's looking quite good. And we had a few of the elephant ears from last year. This is a burgundy stem, which started to come up, but the front was pretty much empty, because I think with the burgundy stem colocaceae, they tend to run rather than clump, so the chances are that the bigger bulb tends to rot off, but the small little runners seem to survive. So you get lots of little ones come up, you know, a foot away from where you originally planted them. So what we've done is we've just got some Colocaceae esculenta, and we've done 3 of them, and then in between that I had some dwarf Cavendish, which looked a bit rough after winter, and I didn't acclimatise them to the sun. I just chucked them straight outside, so we'll see how they do. But yeah, just a little bit of green foliage at the front there to contrast the Cleopatra cannas there. And I will note that the pineapple lily's looking rather good. Eucomus, this is the burgundy one, giant burgundy, really deep colour on that. That's looking quite nice. They're starting to come up, so hopefully we'll get some flowers on that soon. But yeah, it's hotting up, and the problem is no rain. We haven't had rain for probably best part of a month now, and you know, no rain with new plantings, that just means you're watering them constantly for, well, pretty much every day when it's hot like this, just to keep them going, you know, get them to root in. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.